Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The cat and mouse game between the Luo parliamentarians and Edwin Sifuna is not ending. After Raila's brother Oburu Odinga dared Sifuna to walk away from the party if he's not satisfied with the arrangement between ODM and the UDA to work and support William Ruto, other members of parliament are now telling Edwin Sifuna that we already have a replacement if you think you are indispensable. The Alego Songa member of parliament, Sam Atandi, one who has been in the front line defending William Samoei Ruto, is now telling Edwin Sifuna that this party belongs to the Odinga family. They invested hugely on it. They invested in ODM with the money that they could have used to enrich the Odinga family. And he's telling Sifuna, if you feel you cannot toe the line, then you better go, because we already have an eloquent, articulate member of parliament who can fit into your shoes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to watch this video, but allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. Allow me also to request you to like this video and share it, because it goes a long way in promoting the video. Kindly listen to Sam Atandi.
In our party ODM, I want to tell our people, members of our party, those who are in our party who are, expressing divergent views about our partnership with William Ruto, that political parties are not anchored, or they are not built merely by rhetorics. You don't build a political party by simply rhetoricing and making noise. Political parties are built even using resources. So even if you are a member of ODM and you are holding a leadership position on ODM, you should tell us how much contribution you have made in other than rhetorics. Because some people who have all simply came recently and they are just, the only thing they do is to make noise. They seem to talk like they know they are holding ODM party like this. If you ask Oburu Odinga and Raila Odinga, they will tell you that they spent family resources to build ODM. They have forfeited their own happiness and investment that they should have used to support the Odinga family. They put that money in the ODM party. So if you just joined ODM yesterday and you think you know ODM so much that you can even begin to counter Oka by saying, I want to caution you that you are treading on a very slippery path. And we don't fear anybody. ODM will never be brought down by one rhetoric. If ODM was to fall, ODM would be sorry because of exit of Ababu Namwamba. Ababu Namwamba knew that akienda ataenda na chama. He went in, Ababu is today history. Nobody even hears about Ababu Namwamba. Sasa hii Sifuna akienda, what will happen? Yeah, so you can, if you threaten us that you can leave ODM, you can leave. Jared Okello is here. Jared Okello has better English because Jared Okello went to school in England. He went to school in America. He can speak better English than even some of these people who are claiming to be speaking for the party. So the people speaking for the party, we can get anyone to speak for the party. But the fact is that the party is not built merely by rhetorics. There are huge investments which have been put in the party by Raila Odinga and the family. And these are things we cannot take for granted. When Baba speaks, we respond and we act accordingly because we know the sacrifices he has made and the investment he has put in the party.
Now, from where I sit, I believe that politicians don't just wake up to make pronouncements. That is what I believe in. I believe that sometimes people like Sam Atandi, maybe Opondo Kaluma, Oburu Odinga, when they are in their unguarded moments and they are speaking their the native language, I think they are saying, who is this Sifuna who thinks that he carries the party? Can't he understand that Odinga, the Odingas invested in this party? And I think during such moments, they even try to brainstorm. In the event that Sifuna resigns or we decide to kick him out the way we did with Magarel Gat, who will replace Sifuna? And I think they have settled on Jared Okello. Now, I want us to listen to Jared, because Jared is equally a very calm, eloquent and equally articulate. But in my own estimation, you cannot match him with Sifuna. Sifuna is unmatched. And I want to play for you a clip or just one of the clips of Jared so that we try and compare and tell me. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, if you read the mood of that statement and what some Atandi means, some Atandi number one is now coming out to echo what we have always said, and people think that we are lying. We have always mentioned to you that political parties are personal enterprises. ODM belongs to the Odinga family, and whoever wants to have a fair share of the dividends or whatever it is must face the wrath. Some Atandi has told you that there were some resources that Raila and Uburu would have used to enrich their families, but they invested. And so you must know, whenever we say that ODM belongs to Raila and you have to toe the line, people think that we have something, maybe some personal vendetta against Raila. No. Atandi has told you, this is someone's business. And when someone opens a business, every business owner intends to make profit. You know, when Raila announced that he was going for the AU seat, people like Oparanya and Joe, who were deputy party leaders, lined up to take over the party. Mbadi, the former chairman of the party, wanted to take over. When Raila realized that they were clamoring to get, to take over the party, all of them were given as experts to William Ruto so that they can allow loyalists to run the party. And it's not only in ODM, even the UDA. UDA is Ruto's property, personal property. And if you think I'm lying, go and ask, there is this member of parliament who is a rebel in Rift Valley, was given a ticket. He won the nominations on a UDA ticket, and William Ruto said no. William Ruto said no. The same thing will happen in Jubilee, Uhuru's property. Kalonzo has Wiper, his property. So these parties, yes, we know they are vehicles that, will catapult people to power, but they are personal property. Now, number two, Atandi is trying to insinuate that the only thing that Sifuna brought to the party is good English. It's true, Sifuna has some good English. He's very eloquent. But that is not the only thing that Sifuna brought to the party. Of course, a Secretary General must be someone who can explain the position of the party in a way that members of the party, supporters, and even the opponents will nod in agreement that indeed this is the best, Secretary General. Let me tell you, Sifuna is a man on demand. If you kick him out, Sifuna can go to any party. And I know Sifuna, if you ask William Ruto to tell you the truth, he would really wish that Sifuna be in that party as Secretary General, even Wamunyoro. But Sifuna also has the backing of the people. So threatening him that he will be buried in the political history if he leaves the party, those are mere threats. But ladies and gentlemen, I want us to listen to Jared Okello, just a snippet of Jared speaking, so that you see the calm demeanor that perhaps informs Atandi to believe that he can fit into Sifuna's shoes.
But being a member of Agriculture Committee, let me put this into perspective. It was not even 40,000 bags. It was 34,400 bags of raw fertilizer that came from Russia into our country as a donation. Now, once that fertilizer has come, and it is raw, it is like raw material. You don't give people raw material, you give them finished product. So that fertilizer had to be reformulated. It has to be blended by other components that we have here in our country. So they had to be removed from those bags, just as Honorable Gachagua is saying, and be reformulated and repackaged into other bags and to be sold to Kenyans. Remember, there has been a fertilizer subsidy program run by the president, in fact, part of his manifesto. And he then chose to reduce the prices from, I think, 5,000 to 2,500. From 7,000, actually, to 2,500. And because there was this donation, and there was also the fertilizer program that was running, the 34,400 bags, 34,400 tons of raw fertilizer, after blending, gave birth to 100,200 tons or metric tons of fertilizer that was then given out to farmers. And you know, we have as a country witnessed certain progress made by this fertilizer for the first time, and both of us sit in Agriculture Committee, so we are privy to a lot of information on inflows of our food or essential items.
Now that is Jared Okello. By the way, Jared is telling us that he's schooled in England. He's got some good English there. But then, ladies and gentlemen, there is something that I find very disturbing. You know, the fact that the ODM is now working with William Ruto must not turn them into dictators. Because Raila Amolo Odinga, the person they are bragging about that has built the ODM party, let me ask you, had Raila built this party with his resources and resources devoid of people's support, would Raila be where he is today? In fact, the greatest asset of Raila is not the money or the resources that he placed in ODM. The greatest fortune that Raila has ever accumulated are the people. Raila has always worked with the successive governments, not because of the money that he has accumulated, not because of that party, but because of the loyalty that people have always rendered to him. So let no one start reminding people, yes, we know building a party is not very easy, ladies and gentlemen. We have to agree on that. That's why I had a problem with some Luo members of parliament who used to tell us that Raila has dominated Nyanza politics, he has to quit for others to thrive. I don't believe in that narrative. Why? If you believe you're the best and you can offer yourself as an alternative voice, then, you know, plunge yourself into the political arena. Tell the people, how we Odinga family metunyanyasa for long, I want to take over. If the people believe in you, Raila doesn't have to quit. The people will tell him, no, now go, we believe in a channel. I don't believe in saying, nani aende ndio tuchukue. Building a party is not very easy. But we can and must not forget that a party can only be a party not because of the resources, but because of the people who support you. So the Luo parliamentarians must understand that. Number two, these people don't mean well to Raila Amolo Odinga. Why? When you begin, you know, playing ethnic politics within ODM, it is like you are telling us that you now believe that you can do it yourself. Because when they suggest Jared Okello, they're now looking at loyalty and tribalism. It is like they've decided that the ODM will remain a Luo affair. What do you want other tribes to? Where do you want other tribes to go? What about, because when Raila was campaigning for the very many years that he campaigned, Raila had the support of the Luyas, the support of the Maasai, the support of the coast. So right now, these people want to reduce and trivialize ODM. And I find that very disturbing. The only thing I don't understand is the very deafening silence of Raila Amolo Odinga. He's very quiet. Is there something that he knows that we don't know? Ladies and gentlemen, for some Atandi to come out and suggest a name, one, it could be his own suggestion, but I believe that this could be as a result of consultations. Maybe they have begun, you know, thinking, who do we replace with Sifuna? Do you think Sifuna will be a gone case if the ODM kicks him out? What do you think? What is the worst that can happen to Edwin Sifuna? Should he resign or wait for the ODM to kick him out? What do you think? because they are now comparing Sifuna to Ababu Namwamba. One thing that they are forgetting is that time has changed. Today, the youth that support Edwin Sifuna are not the very ones who supported Ababu Namwamba. And maybe for Ababu Namwamba, they were convinced that Ababu wanted to sabotage Raila. But for Sifuna, Sifuna has always maintained before Raila, Baba, you told me. Baba, you told us that these are the 10-point agenda. If William Ruto is not going to implement them, then you told us that in the event that that will not be implemented, then we will be out. So Sifuna is not backstabbing Raila. You know, for Ababu Namwamba, we were later told that William Ruto was working with him, you know, behind the curtains. But Sifuna is saying and talking in broad daylight, telling Raila, this is what you told us. Recently, just the other day when he read the collective resolution from the Central Committee, some people criticized him. But from where I sit, I believe that there is a difference between the position of the party that is taken after people vote. The minority have their say, but the majority have their way. But his personal, because I believe even the ODM brigades have told us that there are times Sifuna speaks as a member of the party with the democratic right protected within the party to speak his mind. Then there are times he is now mandated to speak on behalf of the party. So I believe Sifuna, when you push him to the collective responsibility and as the spokesperson, he will tell you what the party wants at the resolution of the party. But as an individual who has got a vote and he will cast that vote in private, I believe Edwin Sifuna does not support the position that they should work with William Ruto. So, ladies and gentlemen, Atandi has unveiled a new Secretary General and is saying this party is a personal enterprise. So, you know, for those who are in ODM who think that they have equal rights, you must follow Raila because he used resources to build that party. I don't know where the resources, where the people fall in, but Atandi seems to be looking at the monetary side. What advice would you tell the Luo parliamentarians?